Well, hello
That's not
everybody,
gonna work.
and here we go again. Thank you for being here. And it's been a while, but I did release a video before this one a couple weeks back. I'm trying to keep up with them again. I really slacked off during the pandemic, but here, as you can tell, I am preparing my eyes, and I usually use a NYX concealer for that. And then here I'm going to be using the pencil technique, which I haven't done in a good while. So I went ahead and I recorded both eyes. And this is a pencil by Milani called Liquid Eye. And here I'm just coming in, and I'll blend all of this out in a minute. I know it's going to look kind of crazy at first. And the purpose of this is to give shape to your eye makeup and also an extra base for drama. So that's the purpose of that. And so this tiny little brush is by e.l.f. I think it's a mini concealer brush if I'm not mistaken, but I don't use it for that. And you'll forgive any noise please you hear in the background. I'm using this new microphone that I just purchased, hoping it will improve my sound, but it also happens to pick up sound that I don't want it to pick up sometimes. And so I'm continuing. I let this play without speeding it up just because it's not that easy of a technique, and I'm hoping that whomever would like to benefit from this will get a good look at how I'm doing it. And so every once in a while I will get into this because it's got added benefits. And so all you do after you get this part done is just put um, your makeup on the ends of your eyes, the outer V, just right on top of that. And so it's a little less blending as well because you're just following that shape. If I'm describing it right, I hope that you guys can understand me. And so again, blending it out, and what I'm doing is I'm pulling the pencil, the crayon, into the eye to smoke it out a little bit. That's going to add to the smoky effect as well. This is a different liner brush. It's just a generic brush. I don't even know where I picked this up from. It's a little old, but it works really well for the same reason. This one's a little darker than the previous pencil, and that's why I pulled it out, because getting closer into the inner parts of the outer V, I wanted to darken that more. So I pulled out this brush, and you don't have to light these with a lighter. That's what I like about them. And when you put your eye makeup, your powdered, uh, oh Lord have mercy, your powdered eyeshadows will set that crayon, so that's not going to move. Tends to happen to me when I decide I want to start recording. I forget everything. So here again, blend out. So this is a little extra work. If you're not into doing this much work to get your makeup on, then you can skip this part and just get into the shadows. Just put on a really good base like I did with the concealer, a paint pot, something to that effect, because that helps with your shadows lasting a whole lot longer, and also bringing out the true color of the palette, because that's something I struggle with, especially because I'm doing this makeup mostly for YouTube, and my camera tends to drain. I don't know if anybody else has this issue, uh, the true color of your makeup. So as you can tell in the beginning of the video, the three pictures that are there, this is the same exact makeup, but because I sat under different lighting, they look totally different. The purpose was for me to try and bring out the actual color of the makeup. So it just turned out that way. It's just amazing to me what the proper lighting will do for your makeup. So depending on what light you're under, the color of your makeup can change. It's crazy, but it's true. And so the other eye, and this eye is closer to the lens, so you get a better idea here with what I was doing on the other eye. And of course, I'm really clumsy, and I dropped my brush, and this happens a couple of times. Again, just blending it and inwards, and just dragging the crayon along, because if you take the crayon and you start painting in the middle part of the eye, it's going to be too dark in the middle and not dark enough on the ends, if that makes any sense. So you want to take the color and drag it from the end on into the middle, of the eye, right where your socket area is. And sorry again, I can hear my dog, so I'm sure you guys can. And of course, my husband telling him to be quiet. I don't know if buying this microphone was such a great idea, but here we are. So anyways, here I am just blending it inward until I get that smoke effect and I get the amount of product that I'm looking for. Excuse the noise in the background. Seriously, that's not why I bought this microphone. But I don't live here alone, so this can happen. And so there we go. I'm just pulling it inwards and just the right amount of blending. And then I just put this in a little bit of fast mode because that took so long what I was just doing. So here taking the Balm, and I love this palette so much. Again, this is an Ipsy, it's not an Ipsy product, but it's from the subscription that I have with them. So the Color Cut and Makeup Artist, that subscription has got me a lot of really nice makeup that I otherwise couldn't afford, by the way. I'm just blending all that. These are my base colors, so I'm blending all of that in. And these brushes here are MOTD brushes. I don't even know what that stands for. Again, they were sent by Ipsy in that wonderful subscription that I have. And so I'm blending all of that in. I go in 2 or 3 times with each color. Only because when you build it that way, it makes the gradient that much easier to obtain. And again, longer lasting. So this makeup will last me all day. It actually did last me all day until I took it all off. So this extra work that I'm doing, it tends to have its benefits. And so yep. Sorry for all that background noise. This microphone is picking up every little thing. Alright, so here we go with the fluffy elf brush that I have. And in my previous video, I gave a really good introduction to that brush. So I'm not going to do it for this one. And then that's the NYX palette, the small little palettes they have with the real beautiful colors, by the way. They have several of them. This one here is just a bunch of bright colors. Most of them are matte. And they do have some shimmers, which I do use for the inner parts of my eye. And so from that palette, I pulled out 2 colors. The name of this video, the burnt cranberry color, and then a brownish reddish color. And put that towards my socket area. And then I go back in with the colors from the Balm and to blend all of that out. Make sure there are no harsh lines. And then at the bottom here, you'll see I'm pointing at the colors. That's going to go straight towards the end, the outer V, and into the socket area. But not all the way through, just on the ends of the eyes. And again, several times. When I do my makeup, it takes a good 45 minutes, but most of those 45 minutes are spent on the eyes because of the amount of detail and blending that goes into this, which is why these videos are almost half-hour long. I cut out a good chunk of it, but this took me 45 minutes. And so blending all of that one color into the other until you can't tell one color from the other, which one ends and where the other one begins. And then again, back into the Balm just to blend everything out. So this is going to be really smoked out. And take out the excess, just so you don't put too much product on. That there's my baby Luna. I know she doesn't sound like a baby, but one day I'll put her on video. Here with the angled elf brush, I'm coming in with the black in the same palette, NYX. And that's just for some extra definition right in that crease area, the socket area. Again, very much towards the very ends of the eye, not into the middle of the eye. That just gives some extra definition and a little bit of drama for effect. I feel like it gives a lot of character to the eyeshadow as well as, you know, brings out the colors real nice. But the black, to me, is the hardest color to blend, so I spend so much time just blending that out. It would be 10 times harder if I didn't have all of the colors under it that I do here. So for the sake of this video, I don't show all of the blending that actually went into that black, but quite a bit. And then that's a smaller brush, and it's not the big old fluffy brush from the MOTD set. It's just the crease brush. And then back in with the angle brush. So you see I do each color several times. This is what takes 20 minutes. And then these are the colors that are going to go over the black just to blend one color into the other. And then I'm going to blend that out again. And then I'm going to go into the very middle with a peachy color. I think I just skipped a portion of, I didn't mean to do that, sorry. So hopefully on the other eye we'll get to see it. But before we get to the part where I just was, there was a little bit of red that went right into the black. So that there is the peachy color in the middle of this palette, the NYX palette. And there's two colors. It's a peachy color and a reddish pinkish type of color. See, on this eye I did do it. That's just the red. And then in the middle is that peachy, shimmery color that I think is so pretty. And then after that, I just go into the inner corners with a golden mustardy type of gold. Well, golden mustardy type of gold. I said gold twice. But you guys get the gist of it. And so you can see I already did it on one eye. And so that's just in the inner corner. Just to highlight the inner corner of the eye and make me look a little bit more awake. And then again, blend everything out. And this is a smoky eye. You want to really try to fluff out your colors as much as possible, with the exception of the darker colors in the outer V, because that's more for definition. You just blend it out enough so that it's not looking too harsh. Now there goes the colors I put right on the middle of my lid. That's the peachy colors. And then here goes my highlight, and I took that from a palette I did not pull out with me to tell you what it's called, so I'll have to leave it in the description, but that's another one of my subscription from Ipsy products. And so I used a different flat, I think this is called the C brush, to get those colors. And I'm swiping, but I'm more like also like tapping those in, because I want the full effect of that color to show, because that's the color that's supposed to brighten the middle of your lid. I have really funky shaped eyes, so not easy to do. And then right there in the inner corner is that yellowish gold, not really, it's like a mustardy gold is the closest I'll get to the true color of that. And that's in the middle of the NYX palette. So of course, in true fashion, I'll be going in on the bottom in a few seconds with the same colors that I just put up on the top, mostly where my crease area is. I'm just finishing up the brightening of the middle of the lid. And so I'm going to come down with the same liner that I was using at first, the liquid eye, to do the pencil technique on the bottom, but I'm going to smudge that out with the same colored eyeshadows I was just using in the crease area on the top. So more like the burnt cranberry, and then the brownish type of colors are going to go on the bottom over this liner, and I'm going to smoke that out with those colors. So I hope that makes sense. And the reason why I did not speed that up was because I don't think I'm so good at explaining it, so that you can see rather than hear how that's done. I do the voiceover, but it's better to see, and you can, you have the benefit now with YouTube, to rewind and to slow things down. So just to tell you what I'm doing is the voiceover, but I prefer that you see it done. So I didn't speed up these parts, which is why this video is 26 minutes long. But here with the e.l.f. pencil brush is the colors I was just talking about. The ones that I was just using for the top are going on the bottom. They're also setting and blending out the pencil that I've just been using. And that's just for added effect, to really pop the eye out, because I have no coloring, like none. And the older I get, the worse that gets, so I need the help. I also don't want my makeup to smear or, be too blown out. So that's why you saw I came in with the pencil, but then I went in with the colors over the pencil. And so it's added effect and it's setting at the same time. Bringing out the eyes with these colors and the pencils. I'm trying to explain that here. As you can see, I'm talking. But I decided with the voiceover, because when I'm putting on my makeup, I tend to ramble. And so here we are again. Uh, Same thing as with the top. I don't just do it once. I'll do it several times. It's to give it longevity and to set everything in place and give it, life, color, and long lastingness. And here with the palette that I forgot to name, I'll have to put it in the description box, is a beautiful highlight that you can also use on the high points of your cheeks, just like any regular highlighting palette. So I love that palette, and it has real pretty cool tones in it as well. And here I'm going to do my brows, and I start with the Maybelline brow pencil. This one I use mostly for shaping the front of the brow. I do go over the whole shape of the brow, but I like to use that one for the front mostly. And then I come in with a second pencil that I love, love, love by L'Oreal. That is my go-to. Can I talk today? All right. So, um, I'm going just over. I don't reshape my brows. I pluck right where the brow bone is, just to leave my brow with some shape, but they're very, very sparse. So this is more about filling in and just perfecting it as much as I can. Anyway, here goes the famous L'Oreal brow pencil, which I'm showing you here. Alrighty. I don't show you the entire process, because doing my brows takes almost as long as doing my shadows, because I'm a perfectionist and it just takes me longer than most people. I think I do take out a good chunk of this though, right about here. And so that was the eyes. We're just going to finish that up with some liner. And so using the I think it's the Invisalign, or it's by what is the name of that makeup line? Duraline. It is Duraline, and it's that serum that you put into your pots, your gel liner pots, to liven them up. Works very, very well. And so I did not show that I had done that, but I did do that before I took out the e.l.f. Cream liner. And that's also an e.l.f. liner brush that I'm applying that with. And this is not about doing a big old wing. It's just about a little bit of definition, because the lashes are going to go there, and I really wanted the lashes to show. Because I didn't use the glamorous lashes for this. I used the natural ones. And so I'm going in just to darken that a bit. Again, it's not a big old wing dye. This is more about the blown out look for the shadows than it is about the liners. So this is an e.l.f. and I love this e.l.f. liquid liner. It's got such a precise brush, so fine, that it makes it a lot easier to, especially with my eyes, apply this makeup. And I was going to say before I said that something else. I guess it wasn't that important. So, okay, finishing that up. And again, I'm not coming out with a humongous wing. I'm just, just defining the ends of my eyes there. And this is the Rimmel mascara that I love, love, love so much. So when I do not have the time to slap on falsies, that's my go-to mascara, and it works really, really well for me. It's the Extra Long Lash by Rimmel. And then the lashes are Desiree's lashes, and again, these are the natural ones. I already have them on here. So here we are going into the face, and that's my favorite makeup in the world, with a Real Techniques brush, and the makeup, of course, is L'Oreal True Match. And I just place that on with my fingers and then buff it out with the brush. I sped this up because this is not a video about foundation, so I sped this up. And I really, really love these brushes for this purpose, as they work really, really well. And I like my makeup to be really, really blended out and thinned out as much as possible, so I don't feel like I have too much product on my face. The older I get, the less I want sitting on my face. And that feeling of having so much makeup on, yeah, when you get a little bit older, less is more. It's true. And so here we go. Almost done with that. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of concealer. And this is a concealer by Maybelline. I think it's called something eraser. And I think it's the only one they have that looks like this. So that's the one I have. And then I take a sponge, makeup sponge, and blend that in. I'm not trying to put that all over that ugly bag that I have. I'm putting it around the line that makes, to try and erase that as best as I can. And here with a little bit of contouring with, again, another Ipsy subscription star. It's called Trestique, and that's a cream contour. And then, of course, my husband, who I kick out in a second, makes a cameo where he's not supposed to, and I couldn't very well cut him out, because I want you guys to see how this crayon works and where it is that I place it on my face. And I'm going to be buffing this out with an e.l.f. buffing brush. Back a second. I really, really love that packaging. And so here with an e.l.f. buffing brush, I'm going to buff that out and blend it into my face with upward swiping motions. And so you can see it went on the sides of my nose, under my jawbone, and where my cheeks are sucked in. And then this is that beautiful blush that Ipsy sent me. I think it's made by Mayella. Yeah, it's Mayella, or Mayel, it's French. And these actually are blush highlights in all types of colors, and I use like 3 different colors with a brush. Ipsy just sent me. This is the first time I'm using it, and it's really, really soft. I mean, they send really, really expensive, good quality makeup that I otherwise couldn't afford if I did not have that subscription. So here with a Sonia Kashuk brush, I'm going in with the Real Highlight. And the Real Highlight that I'm holding in my hand is made by, I believe it's Complex Culture. And they have 2 different colors for light tone skin. When you subscribe with Ipsy, you give them your skin tone, and they send you the makeup that is for your skin tone. And then I'm going to be setting everything here with a kabuki brush and Bare Minerals. That is actually a foundation, but I find that it works, and it also gives you a really nice, soft, velvety face. A very nice finish. I use it to set my makeup, though. And then with the Bare Minerals warmth, I'm going to be putting a little bit of like bronze on my face, using that. Just a little bit more color where the sun would hit my face. If I was actually in the sun, which in the past year I have not been, because the beaches in Florida have been closed. And back in with the highlight just for a little bit more. I felt like after I set my face, I might have wiped some of it off and took out some of the intensity of it, so I put a little bit more on. Again, the same Sonia Kashuk brush. And then I go back in with the kabuki brush and just blend everything in together. And then finally the lips. That there's the Rimmel lip liner. It's almost the same color of the lipstick, slightly darker. And then this lipstick is one of my favorite lipsticks in the world these days. It's by Revlon. It's their mousse, matte lip mousse is what they're called. And they're not sticky or anything. They've got a really soft, velvety feel and a really long-lasting staying power. So love, love, love. And the pictures, I had to get under this special lighting to bring out the real color of this lipstick along with the rest of my makeup. And I think that pretty much does it here. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me, for watching this. And until next time, hopefully it won't take too long. I hope to get all of you guys back. Thanks again. Bye-bye.